Juni, what's going on?
Over here.
Hey, what's wrong?
Nothing. Something. I don't know yet.
What do you mean?
Ashcroft's missing. He was on a Liberty dreadnought in a maximum security cell surrounded by armed guards. Trent, you don't escape from that. After our last assignment, I had a few more questions for him about his Rhineland connection. When I got there, he was gone.
Who would transfer him without telling you?
He wasn't transferred. Every record of him being arrested was wiped clean. Even the guards were changed. They say they never even heard of Sean Ashcroft.
What do you think's going on?
I don't know, but there's more. Walker. He's gone too.
Walker's gone? But he's the captain of a naval cruiser. Ship captains just don't go missing without someone noticing.
Neither do their ships. It's listed as lost 5 years ago.
5 years ago? That's impossible.
People around us are disappearing, Trent.
Well, we're here. What's our move?
We have to find out what's going on. The last place Walker's ship was stationed was California. Somebody must have seen him. That's where we'll start. Are you with me?
Yes. Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to the Freelancer commentary.
When do we leave?
In a few minutes. I need to finish up some business inside first.
Watch yourself.
Keep an eye on our ships, all right?
Mr. Trent, it's very important that you and I speak.
And why is that?
Because we're the last two.
Last two what?
Freeport 7 survivors, Mr. Trent. You and I are the last ones in Liberty. Everyone else is either dead or missing.
Wait, I know you. From the rescue ship. What happened out there?
They were looking for something. I'm a thief, Mr. Trent. I came to Freeport 7 to deliver something that a certain party wanted very badly. Apparently they weren't alone.
You're telling me this is all because of you?
It's not really about me, Mr. Trent. It's about this. This is what they're after. And now they're after us. We need to get as far away from here as possible. Hold it right there! Get your hands up!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I can explain.
I have my orders. All artifact smugglers are considered enemies of the state and are to be shot on sight.
Freeze, soldier! I am an agent with the Liberty Security Force. This man is a freelancer who is working with me on assignment.
I found him dealing in illegal artifacts.
Then arrest him.
What?
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Soldier, you are bound by Liberty Code to uphold the law. You don't have a choice. If he's a suspect, take him into custody. The law protects him and ensures a fair trial.
Not anymore.
He was gonna kill me.
What do you mean, arrest him?
He was gonna kill us both. Who is that?
I don't know, but he had the right idea. Liberty isn't safe for us right now. We've got to leave.
Trent, no. What about Walker?
We won't be any good to Walker if we're dead. Do you see this man? I don't think he's alone. Juni, we need to stick together and we need some time and distance to sort this out.
I know a place. Follow me.
And from here on out, this is pretty much where everything changes. Epic music, even though things are fucked up now and we'll... Yeah, this is very much a case of you can never go home again because now everybody in Liberty is your enemy. So, yeah, we better get out quick smart.
What's the plan?
First to Fort Bush, and then from there to the Badlands. If they find the bodies on the landing pad, the Navy will lock down all trade lanes. We have to hurry.
This is the cut your engines and prepare to be taken into custody.
Oh, look at all that red out there. Again, not too long ago, this was once the safest place in the universe, and, I don't know, I do always tend to like tropes like this in fiction with... I mean, again, not just with the whole you can never go home again, but also the sort of aspect that, oh man, everything that was once your friend is now your arch nemesis, you're trapped and have nowhere to go. Oh god, we are all doomed! I don't know. Again, it just raises the tension something fierce, and again, in terms of generating story energy, it's, well, fantastic. Oh, who will save us? Is this the end for Junko Zane and Edison Trent? No middle name given, but yeah, trade lanes are blocked, and yeah, unfortunately, we're stopped by the Battleship Unity, not Nudity.
I'm picking up additional hostiles coming in from Manhattan. There's just too many of them. I'm sorry.
Juni, this is King. Proceed to West Point.
King!
Walker here. We'll take care of the battleship.
Oh, Walker and King are two heroes! But yeah, I mean, even with Walker and King on our side, thankfully, this is still pretty grim odds, although, again, Walker does get a few badass points for, again, as much as like a military golly gee stickler that he is. Again, he is very much willing to risk a lot of his position in opening for a fucking battle cruiser, so... Goddamn, the man owns my respect, but... And again, as we've seen, conspiracy theories are mounting, and, well, there's no avoiding it now. We've very much come into the center of it. But yeah, this is definitely one of the highlights of the game, and God, I still remember the first time I played this, just how fucking hyped up as hell I was. I mean, again, I mean, you probably didn't get the effect as much as I did, considering that I am sort of cutting out, like, the time you spend doing missions for, you know, the Liberty Police and the Security Force and whatever, but again, like, I mean, the time that you spend here, it does sort of enhance the whole idea of, like, again, what was otherwise your home base is now your enemy. I mean, again, I would say that, again, it is worth picking up the game for yourself, and, you know what, I guess it still can, but, I mean, again, it's the game being abandonware these days kind of puts the kibosh and all that, so, yeah. But, either way, now it's here where we must part ways with Walker, and don't worry, he's not going to immediately die. After all, he is a bit more of a wily fellow than that, because he's pretty much gonna meet up with King at the munitions place, but in the meantime, King's gotta ensure our escape route. Although, I mean, I'm going to assume that two of the Lambda Wings that King also has as his co-pilots right now are in fact also in on the whole idea that something's going seriously wrong with the, you know, the Liberty Navy and, you know, the whole upper echelon of society right here, because otherwise, well, two wings that are otherwise working for King are just going to wind up perishing here. But in any case, so, yeah, I kind of brought it up beforehand with the whole epic music track, but yeah, this track right here, one of my favorites in the game. You did hear it beforehand when we were chasing down Sean Ashcroft, but yeah, there is also the idea of, you know, it being used for this segment, and this is the one I remember it most from. Oh dear. Yeah, thank goodness we can still at least use our cruise engines, but yeah, that's going to be changing quite soon, as we advance further on in the game and things begin to get a little bit more difficult.
Damn it. That was close.
But yeah, it's about here where King has to part ways with us, sadly.
Thanks for getting us out of there. It started to look grim.
Thank Walker. When he told me that Trent's name showed up on the Navy's most wanted list, I knew you were in trouble.
What?
He's wanted for murder, artifact smuggling, treason, and the destruction of Freeport 7. Quite an impressive list, actually. Look, I have to rendezvous with Walker near Detroit. Stay low for a while. I'll be in touch.
Trent, I've uploaded new coordinates. You're gonna meet a friend of mine. Take point.
Man, Juni knows a lot of people, but, yeah, again, as we enter towards Bedford Station, which is where Juni's friend is, I mean, slight mild story point, but I do kind of wish we met, you know, Dr. Van Pelt, who is, you know, the contact that Juni has over on this station, a little bit beforehand, so we can kind of at least feel the impact of his death. Well, spoiler alert, yeah, this guy doesn't survive for very long, but, again, that's part of the reason why I kind of wish we got to know him at least a little bit better, like maybe had some missions set in the Badlands, or, I don't know, maybe taken refuge with him, I mean, for at least a cutscene or two, so we could have at least, you know, felt something, but I mean, yeah, this guy was just living a sort of peaceful existence out in the Badlands, not being really disturbed by anybody, not even the Liberty Rogues, bizarrely, but, yeah, all because of Trent and Juni, and, again, the fact that everybody seems to want a piece of that artifact that Thief had. Yeah, many lives are taken down, and, yeah, this is basically Trent getting into a whole heap of trouble that he never even fucking wanted. And, well, at this rate, would pretty much give anything to have Freeport 7 back, have the deal with Lonergan go through, and get his goddamn Sidewinder Fang.
Juni! Oh, I'm glad you made it. The secure channel is buzzing with reports about you.
This is Trent.
Van Pelt's my name, young man. Welcome.
We just need to lay low for a while.
Well, you've come to the right place. The only visitor I get is a supply ship once a month.
If you don't mind my asking, what are you doing this far out?
Studying the anomalies in the Badlands. This station you see around you was part of a grand experiment to fuel Liberty's waning resources. That was long before the Gas Mining Guild, of course.
I never heard about that.
Nor would you. There was an accident here. Liberty doesn't like to publicize its failures. It was abandoned. Except for me, of course.
You're here all alone?
Except for the machines. I like it that way. Not a lot of distractions.
To all Liberty bounty hunters and peacekeeping forces, be advised there is a bounty for 2 suspects wanted for questioning. Sending identity data now. They're armed and extremely dangerous. End transmission.
Juni, what is all this about?
I think it has something to do with this.
I see. Clearly an artifact. But I've never seen anything like it.
Freeport 7 was destroyed for it. The man who had it was killed in front of me. We were almost next.
Well, it's very ancient. Verified. Cadmium crystal setting. Still active. You might try Quintain.
What, Doctor?
Not what, dear. Who? Professor Roland Quintain of Cambridge. I can't help you with this, but he might. He's a respected xenoarchaeologist.
I don't understand. Help us what?
What? Identify it.
I don't want to identify it. I want to get rid of it.
We can't get rid of it now. There's a reason all this is happening, and we're in the middle of it. At least if we keep it, we have a bargaining chip.
I'm afraid your young man is right, my dear.
Oh, this is just great.
Don't worry. You'll both be safe in Britonium. Now, how to get you there?
Liberty ships approaching.
Long-range scan shows a Liberty patrol. They must have followed you somehow. They never come out this far.
So much for laying low.
I'm setting the automatic defense systems to cover you. Take the back way.
What back way?
One of the things that was left behind here was a jump gate to Magellan. No one has used it since the disaster, but it still works. It's deep in the Badlands. I'm loading up the coordinates for you now.
What about you?
I'll be fine. Take care of yourself. Good luck, young man.
Thank you.
I don't know.
You must go. Now.
Come on.
Juni, the patrol is getting closer. The interference from the anomaly will only hide you for so long. Quick, head into the Badlands. Unidentified craft, stay right where you are. You are in violation of Liberty Security Code and are subject to immediate termination. Liberty Patrol, this is Benford Station. These people are here under my authority. Negative, Benford. Target renegade ships on my signal.
Oh my god, Van Pelt!
Fire!
Yeah, unfortunately you're not going to be winning this because, well, yeah, again, there's way too many fighters for us to reasonably take down, and even in that case, well, I already kind of revealed what happens to Van Pelt, so, honestly, why he didn't decide to come with, well, okay, I can see why he wouldn't want to come with us, but I mean, all things considered, why they're even firing on Bedford Station is, well, I mean, I would say it's sort of an illegal thing, but, you know, then again, Space American military, fuck yeah, destroying innocents to save the fucking day, yeah. But I mean, even in that case, though, Van Pelt doesn't really have I mean, again, he was harboring fugitives, but, you know, that's why you have to arrest him. But then again, all things considered about what the Liberty Navy is up to these days, yeah, I guess that isn't exactly much of a, well, it isn't exactly much of a point to them these days, so, maybe this is perfectly in character. But I mean, either way, poor Van Pelt, he's dying for a cause he knew very little about, and, oh well, no more studying science for him like that little anomaly out there. Although, by the way, that anomaly is actually radioactive, so don't fly into it, because you're not going to get any buffs or power-ups. You're just going to die. Although, then again, given the shit-kicking, you know, that we're getting right now, yeah, probably going to happen anyway. Oh dear, rest in peace, Van Pelt. We hardly knew ye. Oh dear. Send a hand to Myth Van Pelt if she even exists. But yeah, now for some bizarre reason they decide to arrest Trent and Juni, which... well, again, this is pretty much where you activate your cruise engines and get the hell out of there. And make it to the jump gate to the Magellan system, which, again, you couldn't access beforehand, because before that you didn't really have jump access, but I guess now is needs must does the double drive, and well, I mean, I suppose while we're still currently making commute, I might as well talk about a little thing in terms of, you know, at least this point in the game, where you do finally get to explore the systems by the time you're done with this current story mission. Because, yeah, from this point on, you can pretty much explore any star system you feel like, but, well, yeah, it's something I kind of equate to similar to Final Fantasy II, where, again, you can explore the serious systems, but that comes at a cost where, again, because you can explore everything at that point in the game, yeah, enemies will also have much higher levels than you, so again, unless you're appropriately leveled and equipped with, you know, your ship, bearing in mind that, again, you can't buy higher powered ships or higher powered equipment unless, of course, you're at the appropriate level, yeah, you'll most likely die if you're not skilled enough to survive, and even in that case, it's, well, you'll be cleaved down in seconds, really. So again, kind of similar to Final Fantasy II, if you go into an area that you're not supposed to just yet. Yeah, it can kind of make, you know, the difficulty feel a bit schizophrenic if you don't know what you're doing, or just a little bit too curious. But in any case, though, again, it does make exploring the galaxy quite fun, because again, space is beautiful and you can find some cool stuff, but, yeah, it's also very fucking dangerous, and not just from spatial anomalies, but in terms of the factions that will easily outclass you. Like the bounty hunters right here. Yeah, kind of a weird thing about the bounty hunters here. You would think that they would pretty much work for any organization, but they're primarily associated with the house police and, well, are basically former criminals hunting down their brethren. Which is something you get actually if you explore some of the Liberty Rogues backstory. And it's also here where we get introduced to cruise disruptors. Yeah, from this point forward, yeah, anytime you try and escape from, you know, enemies by using your cruise engines, yeah, basically they have a disruptor missile that pretty much cuts them out, so... It's why at this point that, you know, again, if you ever get a trade lane disrupted and you try to escape, or, again, like if enemies try and, you know, get you while you're in mid-flight throughout space, yeah, I pretty much just recommend playing a bit of a cat and mouse game. In which case, I mean, you know, don't be the mouse, because the mouse never wins, unless you believe those lying cartoons. So again, much like the titular cat from Red Dwarf, you don't run, you strike, so, yeah. Unless, of course, the enemy is completely, totally outmatching you, in which case you're probably dead anyway. No, much like that smoking hole over there. Yeah, instead it's usually best recommended that you basically just turn around and fight your enemies to the death. I did talk about some of the mechanics of dogfighting before, but again, very much entering in little joust segments like that. Again, like if you get within range of like a target, you pretty much just sort of charge forward, blast your lasers to take down their shield, and then pretty much just, you know, do likewise, go pull off a few maneuvers. Try spinning, that's a good trick. Whoa! But yeah, I mean, to kind of talk about it a little bit, unless of course you're actually manually going to sort of reassert your ship on a bit more of a, you know, well, that's kind of weird, on a bit more of an equidistal axis to, you know, well, Earth normal equators, yeah, you're not exactly going to be doing any spinning maneuvers. There is no aileron rolls, there is no other sort of techniques you can really pull off to look sick and silky. It's just, you know, it's just moving up and down, left and right, red and green, diagonally, and avoiding it. But yes, now we have made friends with the lane hackers. By the way, I wouldn't recommend going back into this system after, you know, you complete the current mission, because while the lane hackers are still neutral, the Liberty Rogues aren't, and the Liberty Rogues are friends with the lane hackers, so if you try and dock with their base to get some cooler equipment, well, you're gonna find yourself dying very fucking quickly, as I learned in a playthrough many, many years ago, when I was trying to sneak up some of the best weapons and shielding in the game. But regardless, though, yeah, the lane hacker's base is very much just sort of a pit stop, really, so, yeah, just, you know, dock, refill your nanobots and shields, and, from this point on, it should be relatively smooth sailing as we get to Bretonia space, which is, you know, well, first of which, it's where Trent initially came from, where I believe he was born, or it might have just been where he ended up, because, I'll get a little bit more into Trent's backstory a little bit later, but the short and sweet of it is that, well, yeah, we're gonna hide out in Bretonia space since Liberty is our enemy. But we are gonna be seeing the, you know, Trent's surrogate father figure and, yeah, pretty much just laying low. Well, okay, we would be laying low until we get to our next mission, but since we're pretty much tackling all the story missions in successive fashion, yeah, you'll be seeing that quite soon. But anyway, let's just, dock with the lane hackers, and I'm Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and next time on Freelancer, we make tracks for Bretonia Space. Catch you later.